Do do do. Do do do. It's a wobbly camera, that.
It is lovely.
London Eye's in the background, isn't it? Loving me snacks. Very grateful. Oh gosh. Give you my little tour guide of London, why not? So you've got Somerset House, 16th century architecture, built by Lord Somerset. Very rich and powerful man, and he wanted to show off his wealth and power by building his house on the Thames. You can see the Ukrainian flag is on up in Somerset House. Solidarity. And then the Waterloo Bridge, which is kind of running from where we are. It's the longest bridge to span the river. It's got the nickname the Ladies' Bridge, because in the Second World War, it was built entirely by women. That bridge is the only bridge on the River Thames to be built under budget and on time. So, you know, girl power for sure.
Shall we start at the beginning then?
Yeah. I grew up in Yorkshire, in a place called Middleton Tyres, which is kind of close to like Scotch Corner, but it's in the middle of nowhere really. Quiet country life, often was like playing with people in the village, like very small town kind of vibes. Did kind of mean I was quite close to my parents though, because relied on them for taxi journeys and getting about.
There's a photo of me as a kid, if you want to get that in somewhere, and my dad.
Yeah.
And there's my mum as well. Don't know where you want it.
He was always a really good dad, and he was always really playful, always really sarcastic and funny, but also really caring. He used to play a lot, and that was his way of like connecting with us. And even like on walks and stuff, we'd pick up sticks, and he'd start like this huge stick fight, and we'd spend he'd be as into the playing and the imagination as we were. It was the trains. So that was actually my dad's thing. He was into trains, and I think when he had kids, it was an excuse to bring it out. So we used to play a lot. So the trains, when it came to it actually with playing with them, I think I was quite controlling. Yeah, there was a lot of detail into it. How we had the planning of it, how we set it out. Loads of different levels of train set. We still got a wooden train set, so it's like a really simple magnetic one, and we built a track all up, maybe like a train track all across the top upstairs landing. Then we had and the next level was called like the plastic train set, which is like plastic trains, but they were battery operated, so you could build up a track and then just set them off. And then we had the Hornby train set, which is kind of like the very like top level model, really realistic kind of trains, and you had it was like remote control operated, and you can build like a whole set, like a whole diorama kind of thing. We kind of So I came down to audition for university and do like loads of drama auditions, and that was like the first time really I'd experienced the city. And when I moved down, it was a lot because I come from like a really small village. So when I came down into London, it was so fast. There was so much to do. It was crazy. It was so fast paced. I have this really weird memory of getting so trashed and starting on a homeless man because he couldn't do maths, and I was like, why? But looking back, I was like, why did you do that? It's just because like the peer pressure and everything, which was a bit, it was.
It surprises me. It doesn't seem like something you would do.
No, it wasn't something that I would do, and it's really not. Yeah, that first year in London was, it wasn't me. I didn't know who I was, how I fitted in, and I think for university and friends, I was like, I don't know what's special about me because this city is so big. I don't value myself. And then I dabbled in drugs, I dabbled in loads of drinking. I didn't really do my work at Central, my university, and then I just kind of like drifted all over the place. The group of males that I'd kind of befriended were like hardcore like party goers. And at a birthday party, someone had introduced like MDMA to my life for the first time. You know, tried it for the first time. We went all night, partied, absolutely had a mint time, ended up on Tower Bridge looking out on sunset. So we did like a full-on like, you know, all night until like 8 a.m. Went up to like Hampstead Heath and looked over, and it was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I took it again, and that was less fun. I was a bit like, you know, this is different. And I was like, okay, there's different experiences you can have. I was upstairs on a balcony at my mate's house, and they're offering joints around, and I'm like, nah, I don't really want to. I'm fine on the drink. And they're like, no, go on, it's fine, it'll chill you out. And I was like, no, I'm okay. And then they're like, go on. And they gave it to me, and I was like, peer pressure. And so I just had one toke and passed it on. This is where it gets spooky, and I don't really know what's real and what's not. And then I started to see myself dead on the over the side of the balcony, like on the floor on the other side of the balcony. I was like, you know, the subconscious then took over and was like, the only way you can get back into your body and get back to life is to throw yourself off the balcony into your body. So that's what I tried to do. And then my mates had to hold me back and again called the ambulance, and then I got taken up. Then I went to the hospital. They sat me down and they were like, so we think you've had a psychosis. Like I could see my dead splattered body on the floor, like vividly. It was there, so seeing myself. And then there's another key thing that it's just the visual, like they're like subtle things though. It's not out of reality, which is the scary thing. I remember just looking into my mum's eyes and looking at her like blanks in the eye and just seeing the reflection of myself. And obviously I'm not doing anything, but I saw the reflection like cutting my throat, and physically watching, and I had a knife in my hand at the time, physically watching that happen. It was a long time. Maybe like a 2 years, 3 years to recover properly. Like initial recovery was like coming out. Like I remember when I was released from the hospital, my mum put me out for a walk, and I can just remember being in a field, and I just like ran, and she was like, "What? Come back!" I was like, "No, I'm just doing a lap because I'm not allowed to run in the hospital." You don't know what's real. Yeah, it's horrific. Honestly, like really horrific. Yeah. The time has come. Attention. Right, ready. Oh. Needs to be right.
Yeah.
There we go. I met a girl. Met a girl. Oh, there's a wheel off. Oh. I opened up to her a lot about the psychosis, so she knows a lot about it. So the best thing to do, set the camera like just there, and just as it comes down, you need to like stick your face next to it as well at some point. And I kind of like had dropped in, like, the trains, like very, very briefly, and then when I went back up to Yorkshire, I got them out again and started showing got them all out.
Gonna take the camera, get some shots.
Yeah, go for it. But she saw I was really excited about them and really enjoyed them, so she kind of like started booking me on some train rides, and yeah, she booked us a little romantic weekend for my birthday. I'm into camera gear and doing some filming, so I was like, take it on, do it. So I made all these little videos. Wow. I felt young, I felt playful, I felt released, I felt soft, I felt kind of living the dream of my younger self. I felt like I was you know when you just smile and you don't know why you're smiling? And just we heard the I was like, this big smile kind of appeared on my face, and I was like holding my camera and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so cool. I think it was also the reason I felt loved as well, because to kind of like have someone new kind of like let into that, and then for them to kind of accept that, it felt like they were accepting like the trauma of the psychosis as well, which is kind of like the most difficult part of me. And to have someone kind of go, yes, I love you, even though you've gone through that, even though you think like that sometimes, and the possibility of, the thing that scares me is the possibility of being schizophrenic or that happening again. So to have someone kind of like with me on that journey of the train, kind of going, I love you for this, and knowing that that could be a possibility in the future, and kind of going, I don't care, was like, it just felt so open, and I felt so like I'd just been opened up, and someone had touched something so deep that that has never been kind of like seen before, which is kind of, yeah.